Hello. Welcome to the Corner Bird Sculpting stream. It's a new project. New day, new project. I was supposed to live stream yesterday, but overthinking got the better of me again. So, I guess I've been getting better at it. And the way that I've been getting better at it is to just understand that overthinking is just part of my process. And I will just set a limit to how long I can do it before I should just suck it up and go and live stream. So, wait, I think before I start, to anyone new here, I like to live stream on. Why did my volume? I like to live stream. What do I like to live stream? On my work in progress, or just how I do my work. And I think from streaming last year, I kind of felt that maybe I like to do some sort of tutorial like streaming. And I think because I've gotten more used to Nomad Sculpt and I feel more confident that I can talk while doing my work. So that's what it is right now. So in the previous live stream, which was the Valentine's Day special, I talked about how I made these roses and I sculpted them live. I think that was fun. So I was thinking that I will do the same thing, but for Elden Ring, Nightreign stuff. I feel so much hype. I wasn't really feeling the hype until I watched all the network live streams. Let me just grab. And also watching Lobot streaming his playthrough. And I just felt quite hyped when I started watching like his second or third network test. So I got a bunch of reference, I guess. Like, I probably should bring it out on my laptop and get better references. Open this up. And just to clarify, this is not a tutorial. I am just working along the way. And I just hope that I wouldn't mess things up. Right now it looks like shit. But maybe some of you might be interested to kind of like know what my process is or how things develop along the way. Like, so the previous one that I did was this Mesmer sculpt. Like, I'm so glad I did a sculpt for Mesmer. I'm really, really so happy. But so eventually it will look something like this, and hopefully it will be better. Hopefully. I hope that I will improve on stuff like armor pieces. Like, these were not too... Like, I kind of got sick of sculpting armor at some point, so it's really low resolution and all that. I like to sculpt organic stuff, so I spend more time on cloth. But when I look at the Elden Ring, Nightreign characters, I think there's a good mix of both armor pieces and cloth. So that's something that I'll look forward to. There's also an eagle dude, the Guardian. I'm quite excited to sculpt an eagle. So that's something else to look forward to. But yeah, hopefully I will bring the Nightreign sculpt to this level and beyond. And eventually bring it to Blender to do something like this. And hopefully it will look... What the hell is that? Oh. And hopefully it will look better than this too. Since this was my first time doing like Nomad Sculpt to Blender to Procreate workflow. But yeah, and when I was saying earlier that I was kind of stuck in my overthinking trap, I guess that's just what happens when I start something new. And I feel like there's so much resistance because I'm really unsure about what the future holds. But I think it's been quite helpful to see to just like look back at my previous projects and be like, I should have faith in myself to do the same, I guess. But yeah. So if you haven't been watching my live stream last year, I kind of did the same process where I was just live streaming my real-time sculpt from this. So this was like how I look like at the start. It kind of looks so stupid. But it always looks stupid at the beginning. And eventually it looks like this. Then I can quickly show. Yeah. It looks better on the latest iPad. It's a little bit low res right now because this was the file. Where is that? Okay, I think this is the latest file. Did I not put? Oh, I deleted the lights. Okay, enough of that. I think I'm procrastinating. I should go back. Stop procrastinating. So I kind of started on this already a few days ago. It's really messy right now. And I am very unsure how I want to approach this. But I usually how I approach these kind of things where there's quite a lot of where it's still open for various ideas would be to kind of just try to list down the things which I would definitely want inside. So I want all 4 characters inside. I don't know whether I'm going to regret this. And I know that in the game it's either 1 player or 3 players, but I think they're all cool. And the reason why I want to do the 4 characters because I have reference for them. So like when I was working on the Nomad Sculpt, I was only referencing the trailers because I didn't want to play the game until I finished this project. And I think that kind of led to quite a few mistakes. Like when I got his spear in the game, I realized that this spear was more square than I thought. Like it was supposed to be like this. What else was there? Like this whole thing was kind of not correct. And like his cape has his emblem on, which I totally couldn't see because there's no back view of Mas. I think there's no was there a back view of Mesmer in the trailer? And I just forgot. But anyway, a lot of mistakes in like the subtle designs. But I'm not going to do the same thing for Nightreign because there's no spoilers. So I'll just look at gameplay footage from like Low Boss Junior live stream, or maybe like screenshots of the trailer and all that. And I think those are pretty good for reference because I can look at the front, I can look at like all angles, which was what I kind of lacked for the Mesmer project. And hopefully that will make this sculpt a lot faster, but I'm not really sure because now instead of 2 characters, I have 4. And I have this, I forgot what the name of this boss was. But I haven't sculpted dogs before, which was also why I thought that I wanted to sculpt Nightreign, because I want to sculpt dogs. I think the boss is really cool. So anyway, before I lose track of what I want to say, this is not really a final, like, I'm just trying to block in an idea in my head, but it's not looking really that great to me, I think. Yeah, I think it's not really looking that great. And the reason why is because I feel like this, it feels like it's not, it feels a bit random, I guess, and feels a bit tight. But I haven't sculpted a scene before, like a fight scene that involves like someone fighting a big monster, and there's like 4 people in this one. I always don't know like why I keep throwing myself like this. Maybe that's why, I guess that's why I really like Dark Souls, but this feels a bit different. So yeah, I need to stop overthinking. Okay, I'm gonna start. And also at some point while working on this, I kind of felt like this is probably around the time when I will start live streaming as I work on this, because there are a bunch of things which I would think that might be interesting to you guys if you are also using Nomad Sculpt or whatnot, to kind of like see the process of just sculpting freehand and organically without, I guess, kind of like sculpting as if I'm sketching in 3D space. And like it looks pretty messy right now, it looks like shit, but we will get we will get somewhere eventually. Yep, eventually. So the thing, before that, I want to listen to some music as I work. Trying to just do a chill session. Oh no, I know why are you connected to my PC? Maybe I need to disconnect my headphone from PC. I was wondering why I thought I heard some feedback to understand why it's connecting. To anyone tuning in the stream, I hope that you have a good day. Let's hope that today will be productive as usual. And I also hope that maybe this might be, my live stream series might be interesting or helpful to a bunch of you, because I haven't really seen like super complex Nomad Sculpt tutorials out there, and this is not a tutorial, but I hope that it will be helpful to anyone. So I think the first things first, if you haven't seen the tutorial for this one, I guess I don't recommend you watching it because it might be too long. But I went through some concepts of how I sculpt, and because it's a rose, like it's quite straightforward, but maybe I'll just try to explain as much as I can on how I sculpt things. So usually what I do, right now there's a bunch of stuff already. I have no idea what poses they're doing. Yeah, and like I wanted the Guardian to be doing that like super cute dive attack, the ultimate. But then every time I try to find a frame where he's doing his ult, like he's always out of frame, which was annoying. But I'll find a way to do it. So I need some time to orientate myself because there's a bunch of stuff going on. So normally, since I have this, maybe I can do one on the other side just to see. Normally how I start sculpting would be to create a sphere usually and move it around. Also in the previous live stream, I kept wondering why the gizmo was not, oh wait, the mirror was not, let me see, mirror. So create something validated, doesn't matter because I'll be using dynamic topology. But yeah, so I was wondering why the mirror was always in the center of the world and then I moved it, but I made a mistake in the previous stream. I should have just done this, where the mirror will be localized to where the object is. And I'm not really sure whether there's a way to, yeah, I'm not sure whether there's a way to set this as the default because I feel like I can't just use this only, because I realized from working with this file that I kept having the need to like come back here to press on this. Yeah, I wonder, but I guess I don't really need to look at it. And I have my macropad, so a lot of things are streamlined. But this is dynamic topology. I will usually just turn it on. And if you have it as a binding, where's the binding? I don't remember which one. Under tools in binding, if it's set to dynamic topology, they wouldn't ask this question, but so that's kind of nice because I don't like saying yes to it all the time. And now that this is like this, if you click on this, you can drag this out, which is pretty neat. And I really like this. Like, I've been keeping this on here all the time now that I know that it's doing that. And then, because since the new update, the dynamic topology and symmetry, they are shifted up here, which I guess I don't really like that, but it makes sense that this is more used by most people. And what I do would be to use this screen, detail based on screen. And enough talking, I should just start moving stuff around. Why are you moving Soviet? Alright. If your drag tool is working a bit weird, it might be because of this. This is quite useful though. Like, let's say if I want to thicken this part, and like regardless of where I am in the camera space, I know that it's always pulling up based on the normals of the polygon. Is it polygon? The face. So you can see if I pull this and I'm moving, no matter what direction I'm moving, it's always pulling and then along the normals. So that's something that is very useful if you need it, but right now I don't. So I just want to make some terrain because I feel like it's really empty, but I don't know what I want to do with it. Mostly because of lack of experience. Because I haven't really worked on something like this before. But I feel like in the boss arena, there's like all these bunch of like flags like that, right? So maybe I may want to add those. But I guess because it's quite duney, like I see sand dunes. I see sand dunes like in the arena, so I kind of want to follow that concept, I guess. So like whenever I'm starting out a new project, I'll just try, and usually I'll feel very lost. So I kind of just try to latch onto things that have already existed, or kind of like set rules. Like for this rule, I'll have 4 of the characters inside. And that kind of rules help me to kind of like do like some sort of mind map to what will become the final product. So I know that there's sand dunes, and I don't want this to be like blocking the way because it will feel pretty enclosed. I mean, I don't even know what I want to do with this, because like maybe it's kind of weird to have this thing. But because it's sand dunes, I'll just make very nice, gentle, sloping things like that as an idea, like just to remind myself that this might be the design that I want to make. Yeah. And then the next things will be to clean up this. So how this started was by adding a spear, validate dynamic topology, move this with the gizmo, and then start dragging things out like that. I really wish that I can set this to default. Anyway, that was how this happened, like this. So that's like the lake. And then using the split tool, I trim off like that. Like that, and then just create the lake. Looks like shit. But that's basically what I did with this one. And because I've already trimmed off, I think for trim or split. I think for split there's no mirroring. There's no option to mirror here. Yeah, I think there's no option. But that's why one of the leg is out and one of the leg is still there. So now I want to mirror this so that it's replaced this one. Same thing for the front legs. And I want to remove these two. And the way that I do that is to make sure that the symmetry is local. And then I'll just mirror like that. So it's a cool way to just do things more organically. So like this is the grid, and I think the world origin is over here, but it doesn't. Wait, is it over there? Yes, over here. But once you get the hang of working in 3D space, it shouldn't really matter like where the object is and all that, because there are a few ways to not really change the song. So there are a few ways to kind of like clean up files. How should I approach this? Yeah, so like even if these are world origin, I'm not worried at all on manipulating them off center. Let me remove the grid, because there are a couple of ways to fix those kind of things. So let me see. I'm not using mirror for symmetry for this one, so it doesn't. So this being so off here doesn't really matter. But for this one, just to make things clean, I want to move where the symmetry midpoint is. So I'm just gonna move this with the gizmo edit tool, just to make it clean. And if it feels like it's off, then just force the symmetry. And now I have this torso like this by itself. And cleaner that way. Now to bring this over to the other side, the way I do that would be to instance the lake like that. So with instancing, it means that whatever that affects this object will affect the other instances. You can create a couple like that, and then move so it looks like this. And then I'm kind of just trying to think of what to do as I talk. So, and I'm kind of sleep deprived today, so hopefully I make sense when I'm talking. Then after this, I want to mirror it to the other side, and the easy way to do that is to create a group. And in this group, can I? Is it this one? I'll create a group just to make things clean and set the scale to negative. I'm not really sure if I can just do it for this, but anyway, then I take this out of the group so that it keeps the transforms, and then delete this. Now it's clean. Then rotate this like that. Everything looks like shit right now, but even with time, I can unshit everything. Don't know what I'm saying. So something like this, and like there can be many different ways to pose, but just for the sake of keeping things more. Let me just take a look. Like they're quite furry. So I was thinking that I will work till I have details on them before I start. Let me see. Before I start to make them unique. So that's the idea of this. And then this one, the same thing. Instance this and instance this. Can I just... Maybe I can just do it here then. If I do it... Yeah, maybe this works. Yeah, I guess that works too. Don't need to create a group. Then bring this. Usually to move things around in 3D space, I try to think of it as to work on separate planes. So what I did was to look at the back view of this creature and then move it, and then side view, move it, and then diagonal or whatever view, then move it like that. So that's what it looks like right now. So the next thing that I was thinking of is that I guess it's kind of unfair that there are 4 of them against this. So I think maybe I might split them up. I'm not really sure. It probably makes more sense to split it up, like so that it fills up more space. Then when I put the camera, it will look more. Because like right now, if let's say I put a camera here in Blender, it kind of looks pretty empty at the back. So that's something that I'm gonna do to show what this is. Everything is also unnamed right now, so I'm kind of keeping kind of like a mental system of how I'm grouping these things, just to keep track. So I think if it's separate, one of the tails will be gone. It's not 3, so I'll just delete this. And then I probably just delete off what I did the other day, because I don't need to keep them. I don't really know what it's like here, so I should look at reference. So my reference is just screenshots of gameplay. It's nothing much. And hopefully, because I have a lot of reference now, that it will be that I can sculpt faster this time around. I think with the Macropad sculpt, because I have no reference, it felt like I hit the brick wall quite often. But then this is like a different challenge on its own. So who knows, maybe I'll hit another brick wall as I do this. Going to doing what probably makes sense. Usually when I'm sculpting the base, I'll keep this dynamic topology detail quite low, because if it's pretty high up like this, it becomes quite hard to manipulate. So these are good for detailing like this, like that. But because I'm still sketching things and blocking things out, I just like to keep it pretty low. Then that way it's easier to move things around. And the same thing, just going to different angles like that, pushing things around to give it volume. Yeah, to give it volume. Following the reference, I think it looks like. And I think I kind of have an idea of the basic anatomy of dogs, I think. At least I try to. I know that this one is pretty straight. Like that. You can't have this feature right here. This one is thicker. Man, it's really nice to have a reference. At some point the Nomad Sculpt was a bit painful for me because of the lack of reference. So you would think that the trailer has enough reference until you start sculpting. I mean, until I started sculpting and I was like, this is so pixelated. Oh, I want to see the side view, but I can't. Do you know why I did that to myself? So I think something like, because I don't really know the anatomy of dogs, I will kind of just build them along the way. That's how it's always done. Because I guess the way that I work for sculpting and stuff is to just slowly build up every single piece, and as every single piece starts becoming better or like more distinct, then I can start working on fixing the other stuff. Like, you know, because this is the rib cage, it should be round by default. It shouldn't have like a weird flat area, or something like this would be nice. And then I know that they're quite based on reference, they're not skinny there. And they're pretty straight here. And then for the leg, I guess it's too big. Same thing, look at the other angles and create the volume. Sometimes when it looks really wompy, just smoothing out the mesh is good for evening things out really quickly, like that. So that is the leg. This should be straight. The ankle should be like that. I think they are around the same size. Or do I think this is too big right now? And move this. Sometimes when it comes to choosing how to move the gizmo using this, I think for people new to sculpting, probably better off to create this aligned to the grid, because that way, like, once you have created a good angle that you want, it's easy to move things around like this, like that, rather than like this and move things diagonally. So that's something that can be considered for gizmos. But in my case, I'm pretty familiar with working in 3D space, so I'll just move it like this. And the good thing about instances is, like, let's say if I move this here, it moves the gizmo for all the others. The only thing to be mindful of is that transforms by the gizmo doesn't get reflected on the instance. So just be mindful that if you want to adjust the size by the gizmo, have to do it at the same time or do it using a group. I think that's about it. I really like Nomad Sculpt, and I hope that it will be used in the industry someday. So the neck now. Seems like the neck looks quite... I guess it's too thick. This has to go back. Also be mindful that moving things with the drag tool like this, the gizmo will still stay at the same place. So let's say if I move it like this, then I'll need to move the gizmo tool at some point. Just a shape here. And I don't really need to make this really polished right now, because it's just, as long as the it still feels pretty short. So this one has to go back like this, and then the tail is a bit thicker. Then I'll name this, make sure that, let's see, hit. Also have to put a disclaimer that I'm really not sure if I can make this, if this sculpt will turn out well. But then if I don't stream right now, I'm just gonna overthink, like how front leg? Front. And if I have too much time to overthink, I might as well just stream it. Left? Okay. Leg, front, right. And then leg, back, left. Yeah. So the head, neck, torso, tail. With instancing, as mentioned earlier, the gizmo will be reflected. So if I do this, it will be reflected on the instances. So that's something that I don't touch. I don't need to worry about. This one is... why does this look so... Can I fix this? Yep. These buttons are quite handy sometimes. I was thinking that I'm not sure if I will be playing Nightreign. But I know that I definitely want to sculpt it. That's why I started this project. I can't feel like I'm regretting it really, because it feels pretty hard. Okay, so this is one pup. Head, neck, torso. Something that wouldn't be, how to say, something that wouldn't be adjusted, I think, when it comes to instances would be the naming of the geometries. That's why I want to name this now before I instance them. So selecting this whole thing, I'll instance this. And where's the group? Feels like the group feels messy right now. Can I just... I try to keep this neat, like where the group is. I guess that one's... it's not too bad over there. It doesn't really feel that neat. A little bit tedious, but it's not. I think maybe something like that. Like this. I think that looks better to me. So if this group all cleaned up and ready to be instanced. But then I don't even know whether I want it to be this wide. Let me see if I bring up dog up here like that. Also, watching the gameplay trailer, I remember saying that they can swing around this super long chain. Although I guess it only happens when they are merged together. But I was kind of thinking that maybe one of them will be... wait, why is it not? Like maybe one of them will have it. That's an idea. Sun looks up. Guess I want to... do I want it to be more vertical or more horizontal? And do I want this to be in the middle? Let me get the other one. Okay, do I want it to be like this? But then it doesn't really feel that dynamic like that. Or maybe I want it to be... do I want it to be like that? Really having regrets. Oh, before I continue, I forgot to copy this over. Okay. If you have any questions regarding Nomad Sculpt or sculpting, 3D, anything, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to help. Now I just need to figure this out. I mean, one of the choice would be to make this one do like a mid transformation. I don't even know whether that makes sense. No. Because I don't recall how they split up. Would that make sense for them to split up? Like, I know that this one will be like this, and it's gonna curve around. It's gonna curve around, and then yeah, maybe this is fine. Maybe this is fine. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. Kind of thinking that because the Duchess is like, she has the power, she has the ultimate to, is it an ultimate power or just one of the powers to become invisible? And so she will, I've always liked the idea of climbing on like bosses or monsters to fight them, but I guess that's not something that's possible in most games. But I was thinking that the lake would be kind of like this, and then she's running, she ran up to it and finally revealed herself over here. I think, yep, I'll try and get more reference in the future, but they're probably going to, like, maybe I'll do something like that. Maybe that might be a cool idea. And just because I'm using dynamic topology, it doesn't matter if it's messed up right now, as long as I can keep the ideas coming. Probably because they're splitting up really the lakes. Or have to keep it like that. Then I probably have to do this same thing. Like that. I guess now the problem is that the sizes have changed. Like, now this one is too close. I guess this one is also pretty. Maybe it should be closer like this. And then you can also put the head parent to the neck. So that when I move the neck, the head follows. I don't really want to curve it right now. I'll do it. No, I guess I should do it right now. I'm going to uninstance these. Because I want to start and remove the symmetry, because I want to start blocking in the gestures for them. Maybe this one can be more forward, just because right now they're too stacked. Like this one makes sense because it's still splitting, but this one should. This one just to break up the space over here. It should stand here, and then I want the neck to curve. Remove the symmetry. I should probably map symmetry. I need to make a list of the things I have to do. What's the other thing? Sorry, lost train of thought. Over it. I'll do these off stream. Because I realized that I hit this button a lot, so I need to key map this. Makes me wonder if this one should be in the center. Does it make more sense in the center? Like if it's like this. Maybe it might be more dynamic that way. Like, should this one be here? I guess it doesn't make sense, right? It can't make sense for the bosses to target whoever is closest to them. Like, thinking about whether or not it's, if the silhouette is good enough for it to not matter if it makes sense or not. Because let's say if I move this right here, then I can do this, like underneath. Something like that, which might look more organic. Or else, it's good that I did that, because now that I think about it, maybe I think this might look better actually. I'm gonna move all of them like that. Yeah, maybe this might work. Because then this way it looks nicer as I rotate around. I think I can, because there's going to be a 3D space, so it might make more sense to move. I guess she can still be in the center, because she's just casting stuff. And then this way, this pop will not be too straight on, because he's bending over. And then these two are still connected, so that's fine. Oh, and this was unintentionally a pretty good idea, I think. Something like that. I think this way looks a lot more dynamic than what it looked like in the beginning. And it also solved the problem of when this one was on the side, it will mean that Wilder will need to be pretty far out here. But because now this one is in the middle, there's more space for it to turn around like that. And that way, I think that way I can make them move more dynamically, like to go around each other. Like, kind of like what I pictured in my head, but I didn't know what it would look like. But I think it's starting to feel like what I want it to feel like, which is pretty good. And this way there's no waste of space, I think. No waste of space. This one is here. And then the guardian. The guardian can be more centered now. Is he more centered? Yeah, I think it's more centered now. I want this dog to rotate like that. But probably have to move this a bit more there, since maybe it has already detached itself. Like, maybe it doesn't make sense because I think that they always detach at the same time. But I want this paw to be more like that too. But because I want to keep it as instances, it will just have to be like this for now. Then this one, something. So I want it to feel like it's reaching out. It's reaching out, so like this. Kind of like that as it goes up. You see the spiral happening? Although, do I do it this way? I guess more like this. Feel more dynamic this way. I'm not really sure about the height of this one. So maybe this. I don't even know what his pose is when he's diving down. But I guess I can do some creative liberties to just make it look cool. I think this one should be here now. Then this way they are all, initially when I started with the file, they're kind of in a straight line. So I think now it works in my favor, because now they're all quite split up right now. And then the same thing here. That's because this one is going under. So I think usually when dogs do that, the posture would be like this, as they're about to leap into this, something like that. I think I feel quite tired really, just thinking about all these things. It's not even like anywhere remotely close to the start. So something like that. I move this like this. And this one, this will form the ramp upwards like this. If you're just tuning into the stream, welcome to this mess. It will work out. It will work out someday. Okay, like that. I probably should spend some time to start making lots of screenshots on how on the armor pieces, the close-up, and the boss, so that I'll be more ready next time. Because I think it's starting to look, it's still messy, but it's starting to look like something that I like. I'm a bit worried that she's against nothing in the background, that when I take a render screenshot, it'll look pretty empty. But I think that's getting too, that's like thinking too far ahead right now. I think so far the poses that I'm pretty sure of, it's like hers. Like when she's casting the AoE, and then she has a dagger with her. And then he's dive bombing. Then he's running. But then this pose looks quite passive right now. It's alright. Because this one still feels pretty close. This one looks a bit empty, but you can probably use elements of the boss arena to fill up, like put a flag here. I think other than that, probably looks pretty alright to start working on details right now. Honestly, this happened faster than I thought. Like, I finished the blocking phase way earlier than I thought. So I'll take a quick toilet break, and then since maybe I have references for the pups, maybe I'll try to sculpt them a little bit, I guess. I probably should look up on what is it? On dog anatomies while I'm at it. Dog anatomy. Was it wolf? Wait, no, it should be wolves. Dog or wolves? Look at some canine muscles as reference. Okay, toilet break. Back from toilet break. I think I would kind of thinking of the possible problems that I encountered quite early on, and one of them would be that I don't have custom brushes. So I think that's something that I feel, although I haven't tried the paid version of ZBrush, but seeing how many options you have, that's probably one of the benefits of using ZBrush for iPad, is that they have lots of brushes to choose from. But as usual, like if I overthink this, I will not get anything done. So I'll try to just try to do the best that I can. Based on game trailer reference and gameplay references. I don't know how I want to work on the fur and stuff too, because I think I didn't work on I didn't work on fur. I haven't worked on fur yet, so I think that's another challenge to think about. I think a lot of problems to think about. See, there's an ankle here. I'm feeling quite overwhelmed right now, so I'm just going to think about working on small things that doesn't make me spiral. Maybe this might be a long project, but I think I want to, maybe I might want to see how people sculpt fur fast, I guess. Or I can just do it my own way, if I can figure out what my own way is. I think what's even my own way? I don't know what to, like, what do they look like? You might even be better to just keep them as separate shapes. If I break them off today, let's see, I break this off. Will they? Yeah, so they are reflected. Okay, that's good. This is a nice thing about using the split tool. So what I'm doing right now is to drag out pieces like this for the claws. It doesn't matter what shape they are right now. I just want to think usually the start is pretty slow because I don't really know what I'm doing most of the time. I think I haven't sculpted like pop legs before, but it seems like there's like ligaments coming to the ball joint. So I just roughly shape that right now. And then there's this joint like that. And make sure that the joint, make sure that it's round so that it doesn't look too jelly like. So that's the joint, and usually if a joint there's it goes in and out again, so just logical conclusions. And I think there's like a fourth paw. Which one is this? Is the inside? So I think I'm also trying to, I tend to be too much of a perfectionist and it hinders me a lot. So I'm trying to not be too like brought down that I'm just not going to get everything right. And I think that's fine. As long as the end product looks good, I should be happy about that. Okay, so now I'm gonna shape this. Just hide her for a bit. Sometimes it's like I'm not really sure what's going on as usual, but sometimes building up different elements like bit by bit can help for me to like bounce around and use the information. Oh my god, I need to hide this too. So I still don't know why. So a lot of the times I'll be like, I don't know why something doesn't look. What the hell's this? Oh, this. Sometimes I don't know why something doesn't look right. And I guess that's pretty normal for someone just starting out. And the thing is that I can get stuck at a really small detail for a really long time. So I try to limit how long I feel stuck with something. Is it this big? I need to zoom out a bit. Is it this big or small? Yeah. So I try to just be more reasonable with how much I want to spend on something that I feel like, if I feel like I'm spending too much time trying to solve something, then it's kind of a sign that I should move on. And also, like, I can just block this out a little bit, and then when I finish everything, blocking in everything, then I can start going in and why does this look so weird? Yeah, I can start going in and is this even the same thing? It looks so different. Yeah, start kind of like looking up on the anatomy of things to, yeah, like right now I feel like just looking up on anatomy is just, it's too much information right now. And I know that they have claws, so that's something that I'll work on right now. Making sure that the gizmo is alright, then I can scale this. So now that I know there's a claw here, then maybe it makes more sense. It makes more sense to have, where is it? Have it like that. Oh wait. See, I mentioned it earlier that gizmo doesn't apply to this, but then I say that gizmo doesn't work with this, but then I use gizmo tool to enlarge this, but then it doesn't work with instances. So I'm gonna undo everything and just manually increase the size like that. Something like this, and then same thing with this. Just trying to make it as cylindrical as I can. Make sure that I'm looking at different angles to make sure. Just going around, smoothing, moving it. Use the smooth to average out the shape. Like this is a claw. feel like probably claws are a bit like they have this ridge in the center like that. So maybe that's what I'll do. It's quite small, so I'm not going to activate symmetry for these, I think. Then I'll move this out again. I guess right now it feels quite long. I want it to be more like that. So, like that. Then the same thing. These kind of feels like after defeating the enemies, then you get item drops. Beast Claw. Okay, so that's 2 down, 2 more to go. I guess 3 down. The way that I make things bigger usually is just grabbing the left and the right, like that, and then now you have something bigger. Do it slowly, like that. Then smooth it out to even out very rough shapes. Bring it down. Oh my god, no. And then I guess the middle two should be bigger. Yeah, smoothing geometries is such a good way to even out lumpy shapes. Okay, I think it's a bit too high. Like right now it looks like it's too curved and stuff, but once I smooth it out, it will average the distance. I don't even know what this is. And once it averages out the distance, then I can go in and adjust it even more. Okay, look at the reference. I guess yeah, thinner than I think. Using the crease tool to create the ridge. Just lightly draw on it and then smooth it out. then at least it creates the shape. And it's better for it to overlap quite a bit. It's easier to work out that way. It's so good to just, like, sometimes it doesn't matter what the shape looks like if it's hidden inside the geometry, but it can be helpful to just keep the shape consistent even inside, because it can kind of help with making the overall shape more consistent, like that. And then suddenly all of them have claws. That's the nice thing about instances. And because this one, sometimes with a lot of instance objects too, I like to jump around. I like to jump around in different places, and just because, like, sometimes it will look really off from a certain angle, and it's just a lot easier to sculpt the areas that looks really off from those specific angles or poses, and then that way it will slowly get more and more correct. Maybe I should bring up the trailer. And then I think the reference from the trailer is pretty good. And there's quite a lot of different angles. You can start working on the head. It's a little bit confusing. I'm going to how do I do this? I guess I went because I'm not really experienced with this. I'm going to create a mirror. Can I create a mirror? There's a problem that I encountered, and I think I'm not really sure. Like, I feel like it used to be that if I create a mirror with a selected object, the mirror will follow the pivot point of the object. But it seems like it's not doing that anymore. It keeps defaulting to this. I'm not sure whether there's some update happening. It's a little bit annoying, but I'll just move this manually like that. And then I want the eyeballs to align. So I'm going to do a hack. Which is to mirror this. Because I mirrored the head with this one so that I know for sure that this is the center, just because it seems like the hack that I used to do is not working anymore. And now with this, I can use the mirror to insert a proper eyeball like that. So now this eyeball is here. And then I'll force the symmetry and start working on this. So why is the symmetry not? So symmetry is off right now. I don't really know why. But so like a way to troubleshoot this is to just, I mean, why is it not working though? But right, it should. Trying to figure things out. I'm trying to make alright, it should work. I think because of this. Yeah, I feel like something changed in the update because it used to be quite easy to put the mirror on the object thing, but then now it's not. So if I do this, it's gonna maybe I just keep the mirror. Maybe I'll just keep the mirror. Then I want this to be validated too. The problem is that can I do this? Yeah, it seems like the mirror likes to default back to the world origin, which it didn't do before. So I'm not really sure what's up with that. I was using it a lot when I was doing the Nomad Sculpt. So it kind of sucks that it's not working out right now. But just going to hack my way. just gonna hack my way. It doesn't matter that much at the end of the day. At least I tried. Yeah, at least I tried. But it's not working out. I think I can destroy these details first, because I think they're not going to help me. I think based on whether they're quite far apart. And then there's an overhang that covers the other eye. So this thing like this. I like to go between like brush, drag, crease, and smooth. I think those are my most used tools. It's a bit hard to see what they look like. It's quite the eyeball is just a spear right now, so I don't really have to mine. I don't need to validate it, I mean. The snout looks pretty solid. I guess the eyes are pretty close. Maybe this looks more like it. This is a bit hard to judge based on different angles instead of having a character sheet, but I'll do my best. I think there's like this round, like a hard bit like this, but I guess the snout should be just on top, like should just be on top, and then like this, and then can bump it out like this. I don't know what's going on with the snout. And check the side view. Everything's pretty flat here. I'm just basing off what I think, like the snout is like this. I'll look at proper and not, I just look at it now. Look at anatomy. So it's like this, like this, like that. That's the midpoint. Doesn't matter if it's messy right now. I just want to get the shape right. Like this. And then now I start fixing. I feel like their snout looks more like beaks, I feel. There's something, but I'll just do what the real thing looks like first, because I can't tell what's going on without. I probably should look for a character sheet or something. Like maybe like this makes sense, because now the important thing is just get whatever I can see as close as possible. Then is it too long though? I guess it's shorter then. It's probably shorter. Maybe it's this short. Kind of looks like I'm really changing a lot. And then it feels like there's this ridge here. Is it? No, it goes quite far out. Something like this. Like, does this design, is it armor? It's so hard to see. Just need to, like, roughly, if the snout is this size, just need to roughly put in the different things, something like that. Like start figuring, like the good thing about sculpting is that I can push things around. So if I see that there's a distinct feature or shape or negative shapes even that makes sense to me to put in, then I'll put that in. And as I keep building information, so I put in more and more information, the shape will slowly come out. I think that's why I feel like sculpting has been easier and more fun for me to get into compared to drawing. Even though I kept saying that I want to learn how to paint and draw, but can't really find the motivation to do it. It's gonna look a lot better when this sharp teeth and stuff. I have no idea what this is supposed to look like, but I think it being sharp is fine. My sculpting this is pretty hard. Regrets. I need to not have symmetry at some point, but I think the overall shape is symmetrical, so I can do that first. Then I think I'll just focus on symmetry first. I think this has to be quite round. Looks better, I guess. And then what else can I put that I can see? Just that thing. Seems like it's coming out from the side. is quite sideways too. Are these supposed to be ears? I guess they're quite far back. Something that I learned from sculpting Masma said, like, the experience of playing the game feels quite enhanced after I make the fan art of it. I think it was quite an unforgettable experience to see Masma for the first time and fighting him, and I'm like, wow, it's so cool that I managed to sculpt him. And just, I guess, just enjoying the original, like enjoying the design of him. I think Masma is definitely one of my favorite characters after playing the Elden Ring DLC. And I feel like sculpting him was just one of the reasons why I like him so much. I probably don't really feel the same way for some of the, I guess, mainstream favorite characters, like Melina. I like Masma a lot more. But I don't know whether it's biasness from... Oh, there's a shot of the pup with larger ears at the back. Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's... the ears are quite high actually. Made a mistake. Oh no, it's quite high. Wait, are there 2 ears? Oh my god, so hard to see. God, messed up. Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's biasness from sculpting Masma, but I guess in the first place I sculpted him because I really like how he looks in the trailer. So I was really, when I saw the trailer, I was like, I want to sculpt this character that I've not seen before, or even fight against. So hopefully when I play Nightreign, if I do, I'm not really sure whether I am going to, that I'll get the same feeling. Oh my god, is it higher up? It's so frustrating. So I'll feel the same if I play it. But I guess most likely I'm not. Maybe I wouldn't have time to play Nightreign. Okay. Because I'll be spending the time sculpting Nightreign. Priorities of an artist. Maybe like this. Oh, that was right. This is so hard. Why am I doing this? Can you just give me a good frame? Why you guys are so motion blurred? Oh, is this a good frame? I guess they're quite out like that. Sometimes when I have different areas where there are different resolutions and I don't want to mess it up, I'll deactivate dynamic topology, and then that way I can move things without messing up the details that I've already included. sculpting. I think this is starting to look more like it. That's very hard to say. But maybe it's time to look at Nightreign network tests. It's time to watch some gameplay. Okay, where's the pubs? He make it. Okay. He made it to actually now it's a good frame for this dude. I'm not sure whether he this is so hard. I'm not sure whether the wings goes down like that. But then he's coming down from flying. But it's not a good reference like I thought it might be. Yeah, I can see that it's looking a lot better than whatever this is right now. But I need more information. More information. Give me info. I hope it's a good... Oh my god, I'm not looking forward to the armor sculpt. Shit. Oh my god, it looks so hard. Oh, I keep doing this to myself. Okay, let me just... I think this is more right. Is this more right? I don't know. Looks quite beefy. Maybe like this. I think this is more right. And then it goes out. Like this one has to be like this. Maybe I should just do 3 characters because so I feel so overwhelmed right now. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh. It's nice that the cutscene to the boss room has really good what's that, close-up details on the legs and all that. Would be really helpful. Hey, pops come out. Oh, his name's Gladius. Okay, so this one's quite flat. So I need to flatten this. And then oh, there's some goldens. Oh, their mouth kind of their mouth's open quite wide. And it looks pretty diamond shaped. Okay, so this one is it's quite narrow. And it's quite thin, but I think I want to keep it thicker for now. And then make this diamond shape rich like that, but it also narrows down here, narrows down here, and then is this so narrow though? Probably this would overlap like that, I think. Like just a bit. It's actually pretty, you know what, it's not super flat. And I guess here this one, it seems like the stuff that they're using, it feels more like a helmet to me, but I don't know whether that's what it is. I'll just do this because it's not symmetrical, but I don't want to remove the symmetry right now, but maybe I can just define it a bit more. Maybe I should look for still images. starting to really second guess myself right now. But that's like a dangerous trap that I shouldn't fall in. Yeah, maybe I might fail at this. It feels pretty hard. I'm just going to try it and make sense of whatever I'm seeing. It's actually and then I guess I should make these kind of divots. I guess the snout. Yeah, the snouts are pretty. They feel pretty triangular. And then there's a shape like that. And then it, okay. This isn't correct. I think this part looks pretty straight. I guess if I do something like this, then I can create the feathers. No, the fur later on. Just do a bit to get an idea. I want to do the teeth too. And I'm gonna do it with these. I guess they are kind of like that. Let's look at canine teeth. just going to follow this. It's quite triangular. Like that. No, it's a bit too thin. Something to keep in mind when working with multiple objects on the screen is that the area where you tap is the point where the camera rotates around or pivot. So let's say if I tap on this while I'm working on the teeth right here, then it will rotate out of view like that. So I have to be mindful that when I want to rotate around this object that I am holding onto it and dragging it like that. So I think like this. Oh, really? It kind of feels like this Apple Pencil drains battery faster than the old Gen 1 pens, so I'm kind of surprised that it's 20% right now. This might be too big. Maybe it's too big. Just making sure that the pivot point is good before I move things around. Seems like it reminds me of sharks' teeth. Top one's seems quite large. They're not final right now, that's why I can just instance them. And then I'll think about this shape next time. I wonder how long I'll take with this project, because it seems like a lot of things to do. I think they're slowly coming together. I think this one is a bit too narrow now. And it seems like this might be correct. I guess they are shorter at the bottom, or is it smaller at the bottom? I feel like when I'm working on the tiny details, it becomes a little bit disorienting to move around. Instance this. Oh my god, excuse me. Instance that, instance this. Put this here, like that. I guess it's more forward, like this. I think that looks correct. Then instance this. Then instance a bunch like this. Then I can rotate this so that it doesn't look too samey, not working out. Never mind. And then instance the tree of this, because it seems like that's what it seems like, I guess. And then final. Okay. The mirror is not in the middle. Why are you doing this? Maybe this better. It's better now. It looks a bit weird. Why is it that theirs doesn't look that spiky and mine looks pretty? No, I don't. Maybe if I you just do like that. Okay. Sometimes I find putting these kind of small things helps to give me a sign. Give me a sign. Well, like helps to build the scene so that I can see like what is wrong. and what is correct. Oh, it seems like they do have this. So if I instance this, shrink this, the mirror is not the right place. I think like that would be pretty alright. And I guess when the mouth is open, they have this, was it that kind of webbing happening? So I'll include, I think it's like this. So I'll do like this. And then I'm not sure whether this would need to be straight down. I feel like it's probably straight down. No idea what is going on here. Does this look like it? Yeah. Stomach going nuts. Oh, I think that's a good frame. Maybe if I go like this, and then can mimic the different the problem with this though is that I can't move this without adjusting that. So when I know that I want to keep this, I'll just I'll just split this up. Maybe I should put the split here. I'll split these up so that they're just by themselves. And then now it's just easier to adjust them. Probably would need to make a few of this eventually. Right now it looks quite weird. Probably because That looks pretty good. Like just using the crease tool to do something good to it. And just keep that for visual interest. Oh, and I guess these have to because it kind of looks weird right now. I'll just quickly use the crease tool to do alternate invert and non-inverted lines like that. And that's probably a quick way to just do some basic fur stuff. Now, of course, I can do things like that later on, but I think I want to force the symmetry first. Yeah, I think there are 2 of these, so that's what I'll make. I don't know what's here, but it makes sense to do it like this. And then do the same thing really fast. Starting to look a bit like it, I guess. I feel like I'm guessing too much. This one needs asymmetry, so I'll just do a rough shape like that. Do what feels right. I don't even know what it feels like. This is so difficult. Probably wouldn't hurt to drag this out right now. And make sure that it looks fine on other angles like that. I have no idea what the bottom should look like. looks better. Probably would stick out like that. I feel like they look pretty cute. They'd be nice as pets. Okay, I think I'm just going to make a guess here that I'm going to do like this for now, just so that the shape can be sharper. The inflate brush is good for inflating these kind of thin sticks. 10% serious. I feel like the battery for the Apple Pencil wasn't this bad. Guess I'll have to end the stream at 10 when the pencil dies. I think there's a, it does go in a bit here, kind of like a jaw, like a cheekbone kind of thing. And then it goes up. It goes up and then in. Probably goes in a bit. Like that. Just making guesses right now. Can't really tell whether the size of the eyes are correct. I think it looks a lot better right now compared to this. The sword behind, the sword with chains. Seems like there's a bone here when they're engaged. And this area sticks out, sticks out, sticks out. Let's make this bigger. And then do the same. Maybe I should just duplicate the front for the back. Are they the same? Maybe I'll duplicate this behind, but you know what, I should just get the practice. Stop procrastinating. It's really fun to sculpt dogs. It's really fun to sculpt animals, I guess. You could probably do the same method for the claws, but since I've done that already, maybe I'll just do it off stream because my pencil is dying on me. I guess I need to see how long I've been streaming. It kind of sucks. I felt like, yeah, I wasn't experiencing my pencil dying on me so fast when I was using the 2015 iPad Pro. Is it the barrel roll thing? That's okay. Hind legs be sharp, and then it goes up like this, I think. You know, this one has to be more like and make sure that this is straight. When it's straight. Seems like they have these You're supposed to go down. Maybe the barrel roll is what drains the battery of the pencil. Right now I'm just adding these small fur-like things as a proof of concept. You don't really have, I just want to see how they might look like, just how it is. It doesn't have to be the final yet. It's something like, because I don't even know whether I want the fur to be separate geometries. It's a bit hard to say, because I think something like this might work. But I'm not really sure too. Maybe it might be better to do separate geometries. I guess it'd be cool if I can keep this as one geometry. I guess the fur is a bigger problem than I thought it would be. I feel like just adding these very simple lines makes it look more like, a little bit more like fur. That's why I'm doing them. Just so that they look a bit cleaner. I guess more like adding details where I can. Still not really that used to doing these kind of stuff. Like, I don't really know what angle it works with and all that. Like, sometimes I feel that it should extend out more, but then it doesn't. And then sometimes when I feel like it doesn't extend, then it would just go like really crazy. I think something like that looks better than before. She looks better than whatever this thing is. What the hell is this? Not bad for default brushes. I'm gonna replace. Let's add a group. Call this the hit. Actually, when I bring this to Blender, the outliner might be a mess, so I should name them properly. I need to instance them, not clone them. Let's select this instance. Oh, maybe I did. Okay. Then I move this. Move this. And then delete this. It looks better now. This might not be the final, but because there are just 3 of them, if I make a mistake, then I'll just do this whole process again. But it really helps to just add like bits of detail everywhere, because something like this looks a lot more polished now. And it also gives me an idea of like what I need to work on first, like what stands out. So I think the neck stands out way more than anything else right now. Probably because the head is quite detailed. So probably should work on that. But then maybe right now the dogs are not bad from the distance. And maybe while I try to figure out what to do with the fur, maybe I should start doing the easier stuff. Is it easier? But maybe the easier stuff would be to work on the outfits. Probably maybe recruit's Glue's outfit might be easier, I think. So maybe I should work on her first. Yeah, I really like the way that's looking right now. Probably should make this more prominent. Just because right now this two looks pretty similar. Okay, let me just rotate this a bit. How's that worse? I also have to be careful not to make it too cuboid. Let's just put this in as looking at the sculpt now. I think if I can learn how to sculpt fur, in the way that I like, I think I'll be pretty happy with, like, even if this might not look the most polished, if I can learn how to sculpt dogs and animal fur the way that I like, then I think that's a win for me. I kind of feel like my scalp looks less cute than the actual model. Maybe because the eyes are too small. Is it too small? I think that's enough for today. Just before I go, I need to group these up. So I just parent the class, put it under the leg, then this way it moves together. Just do it for these first because I want to rotate this one. This pencil just died. It's a good time to go after I do this. Just to neaten it up. I think it's pretty good progress for today. I think I got a lot more done than I thought I would. So I'll take this small accomplishment for today. Okay, let's switch this off. I kind of like the way this looks. Wonder whether I would just do something like this for its fur. Like, make it look a bit more like how I'll do fur if it's actual clay, I guess. Yeah, so maybe in the next stream I'll try to add this texture to these so that they look less, because just adding a bit of detail really helps rather than it looking like this. Like, this looks more complete than anything. I think something that I learned from doing multiple sculpts is that just having these kind of stuff makes it easier to for what? I don't really know what the word is, but it makes it easier to visualize what the sculpt will look like, even if this is not the final design. Is better than looking at this soft round things. I don't even know, like, what's he supposed to do there? Hopefully I can. Yeah, hopefully when I start blocking in their armor and all that it'll be easier for me to post them up too. So I think right now, because they're so simplified, it kind of just looks cheesy. But maybe once I put the armor pieces, I don't even know whether this is the correct size. Like maybe they are bigger than this. Yeah, you know what? I think the humans are too. Yeah, probably need to adjust them. Maybe they are a bit too small. So I think the boss is pretty. It's really small actually. This is for tonight. I hope that this stream might be helpful to anyone sculpting too. Hope that you have fun with sculpting. I hope that you have fun using Nomad Sculpt, because I have a lot of fun using it. I'll see you in the next one.